All right, so today we're going to be discussing Kyrie Irving, where he ranks all time. I feel like I've been on TikTok lately and Kyrie's either overglazed or overhated, and I just want to discuss with my personal thoughts today. As any basketball player, Kyrie has, goods and bads, but let's start with the goods. Number one, I think he is the greatest handle in NBA history. Allen Iverson, Jamal Crawford are close seconds, but I think Kyrie really separates himself, always having the ball on the string, even in this new era of defense where defenses are smarter, on balls better, they know to isolate a scorer. He still has proven to be one of the best finishers at the rim. He knows how to handle. He knows what to do. Kyrie is also a very clutch player. He's always been, I feel like, very clutch. He's never really choked, as to say. While in his Boston, he was very inconsistent, I would say. I don't think he's a choker or anything. And, the peak of his clutchness was obviously in 2016 finals, where he helped LeBron with the 41 points and the shot that basically sealed the game. Now, unfortunately, we have to get into the bad. Kyrie has never won anything as a first option. His first few years in Cleveland, he was the first option on that team that did nothing. Now, obviously, he was surrounded by a very horrible Cleveland roster. He's not LeBron James. He couldn't bring him to the promised land, but he still did not do anything. Then when LeBron came and he's the second option, he performed very well, did what he needed to do, and they got the job done. Then he moved on to Boston. He was the first option there. Nothing happened. He kept getting injured. There was a very little controversy, but then the controversy happened when he said, "I'm staying," and then he left Boston. But he wasn't able to do anything as a first option in Boston. Then he went to Brooklyn, where he also wasn't the first option, where that was KD. He was also very injured, had a lot of controversy, refused to take the vaccine, and he just wasn't overall able to do anything as a leader of a team. And then the point got further proved when he went to Dallas, being the second option behind Luka, and thrived. They made the finals, and he's a very good second option. Kyrie is a second option player, and to be, a very good point guard, you have to be the first option, whether that's playmaking or scoring. Like Steph Curry, he's the first option. Jason Kidd, he's not a scorer, but he's still the first option. You always want the ball in his hands. Or Kyrie, it's yeah, you want the ball in his hands, but you don't always want the ball in his hands. You'd rather have another guy who's a leader, and Kyrie complement that guy. So where do I rank Kyrie? I'd say he's 30th to 40th all time. Now, obviously, I don't like when people are hating him oh, he didn't do shit. Kyrie's a very gifted player, But I don't think he's a top 10 point guard, or he's very on the low end. Kyrie's never been a first option. And sure, he did have a 50, 40, 90 season, but that was behind someone else, where he's never been that guy. And obviously, we love Kyrie. He's never even gotten an MVP vote. He's never gotten all NBA first team. He only had a couple years where you could say, oh yeah, he's a top 5 point guard in the league. Kyrie has never been that guy. And that unfortunately has affected his career, along with injuries and stuff like that. Now, overall as a player, I'm giving him an A- to a B+. I think he's a very great player, very skilled, a very impactful player that you would want on your team, just not as the first option, He's also a defensive liability, which also does not help his case. To be a defensive liability, you have to be very good offensively. Steph Curry was a defensive liability. He's also the greatest shooter of all time. You have to make out where Kyrie is a great scorer, but he's not that guy. And unfortunately, he's not. And I think he's a very skilled player, probably top 5. I think he's the most skilled player of all time. He is not able to translate that skill to winning as a first option. And I think if Kyrie accepted, hey, I'm not a first option, and sat in his second option role of his career, he could have 2 to 3 rings and maybe all NBA third or second team nod, instead of him trying to be the first option and continuing to lose, controversy and stuff like that. This has fortunately happened to a lot of players, but Kyrie seems to get the most hate. Now, let me know in the comment, what do you guys think? Do you think a 38-40 is too high, too low? Or would you rank Kyrie? Let me know if you enjoyed the video, what I could do better, what I could do worse. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.